Hello everyone. Oh, why did I say it like that? Anyway, today I'm going to be teaching you how to create 3D models out of actual pictures of people. The steps to this is a little long, and this might take you a long time, but I encourage it. It's worth it. It's very worth it in my opinion. Here's an example of how I use these models, and I think it's pretty exciting. It's a new crazy technology, and I'll show you how to take firm advantage of it and really make good 3D models out of people that you'd like to edit in 3D. There's 3 things you really need in order to achieve this. You need Photoshop, After Effects, and Blender all together. It doesn't matter what version of any of these you have. Every one of them is compatible with this method. And I encourage you, try to get creative. Try to make your own thing. And I'll show you how exactly, or like what I mean by that later. So, first, we're going to open Photoshop. So here we are in Photoshop, and my first step that I always want to do is get rid of the background. You can do this many ways. I just use Magic Eraser. I'm not using the most up-to-date version of Photoshop because, but I know some new versions of Photoshop can just instantly key out the background. And yeah, so for now, I'm just gonna erase the entire background, get rid of all of these details, and I'll be back with you. Now, once you finish up with all the erasing the background part, I know this isn't the most flawless erase of all time, you don't have to get on me for that. But now what I'm going to do is make his arms do a T-pose. I know this sounds a little random, it sounds crazy, it sounds wild, but trust me, this is crucial to the process, and this is probably the hardest part, and why I recommend instead of Photoshop, sometimes you can just make, AI make a picture for you to use. I haven't tested that yet, but I'm pretty sure it's very possible, and you can do the same technique of erasing the background, and I'll show you the website to use later. But for now, this is a tutorial about, making actual people into 3D models. So, what I'm going to do, ignore that, I don't know why I did that. I'm going to make a duplicate of this layer right here. It's not going to show up because I'm using game record, but I'm going to make a duplicate here, which is by right-clicking and scrolling up till you see text that says duplicate layer, and I'm gonna name it arm1. Now I'm gonna make another duplicate. That's gonna be arm2. It can be arm left, arm right, it doesn't matter. But what we're gonna do for arm1, at least, I'm going to key out his arm right here. So I'm going to find the point where I can start with that. So basically what I'm trying to find is like a naturally occurring place where the shoulder would bend, so it would like look into a T. It would like turn into kind of a T, or like a V, I'll show some diagrams for example. But basically I'm going to make that point right here. So I'm going to start the keying right at this fold right here, so it doesn't look unnatural where it bends. So boom, 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 boom. Alright, so now we're finished with the keying, or the penning out. What I'm going to do is hold Control on my keyboard, press this button right here with the left click. So now you have a mask in that area. And we're going to do the same thing for the second arm. Find where it would bend, so it would be about this crease right here. I'll do this one. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated, but yeah. I'm going to do it right here. That's where we're going to start. Now just like that, we have this, do the same thing, Control, and press this button down here. So now we have masks of the arms, and now, just like that, we can get started on erasing these arms. I'm going to make sure the arm is not in the way, and that this spot right here is filled in all the way. So, that's going to be the next part. We're going to fill these in using the clone stamp tool. If you're familiar with it, go on ahead, go crazy, but for now, for those who don't know, I will show you. Alright. Let's get started. So, press the S key on your keyboard, or press this button up here that looks like, a clone stamp. Now, I'm gonna make a duplicate of this layer as a backup just in case I mess up, so I'll call it backup. once again, do the same thing you did before, but this is gonna be the layer I color on. Oops. So, what I want you to remember is get close and hold Alt. This is where you're going to steal from. Like, that's what I like to call it. The clone stamp tool is basically you're stealing the colors from before, or the design from before, to create a sort of a fill-in. So for example, I want to steal from here to make this line go all the way down like this. Now I would hold Alt right here, and I'll bring my key down right here, right to where the point where the hand starts, or like the hand goes away, and just a bit, just a tiny bit. So it's probably going to run out, so I want to refresh it. Because like if you run out, you'll just start drawing the arm. So you don't want to just fully go on ahead with that. You want to start back. You want to keep putting it back until you have reached your destination, pretty much. See, I am touching a bit of the arm. So with that, we have this empty space right here. I'm going to fill it in. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure not to touch any hard colors like this. If your brush is like very round like this, like it shows a lot of the other stuff. So I'm just gonna fill this in. Now I know I'm not explaining much about what I'm doing. When I'm close to a spot that I want to paste, I want to make my brush smaller. Hold Alt and then scroll up. So basically that's what you want to do for the entire hand, or like the entire thing you want to cover up. You're using the S tool in order to cover up, and you want to go in a straight line upwards when you want to fill something in. So let's say for this example, I just want to go up, straight up. Now go straight down right here. Perfect in between, you know? Now, if you notice, there is a weird color mesh here, and I'm going to fix that up in a bit, but for now, you can just let that be. Now, if you notice these buttons down here, it's probably just you wanna draw around them as much as possible. You do not want to touch the buttons. You don't want to mess them up or anything. Like that. Now then, we want to fill in the inside of the jacket. So if you look, we have a clear line of where we want to fill in between these two hands right here. So I'm going to use these colors that I have here and steal them in order to make like a convincing, drawing under. So pretty much I just do this. Remember, grab from the top, go down. If you're going downwards, you grab from the top. It really depends where you want to steal from. You can steal from all the way over here and it'll work. See? It just depends what you want to sample from. Now, this step is also unnecessary if your person is already in that sort of pose where they have their arms separated. If they're already in that pose, this step is completely unnecessary and you don't need to do it. It'll save you a lot of time. But not every photo is like that, so not everyone picks like a T-pose. But I'd encourage you to, like, if you guys could start T-posing as a selfie, that would be very appreciated. Anyways. Or if you're doing like a project for like a commission for somebody, just ask them like take a photo and with their arms spread out and good lighting too. Make sure there's good lighting, and just like that you'll have like perfect reference. But yeah, you don't need to do all that. You don't need to do all that. What am I yapping about, man? So as you can see, the jacket, we don't really have a reference for where the jacket ends, but, oh no, we do. What am I blabbing about? We have a reference down here. We want to use every single little reference as much as possible. So once again, following the line, I start from up here. And like that, the line is already connected to the other side. So now I want to take off this sleeve right here. Keep in mind, this is not my best work, but we're getting there. Okay. So pretty much we're done with erasing the hands. You know, bro's hands are just gone. And it looks pretty decent. What I want to fill in right here, I'll show y'all later, but yeah. Now if you see the signature up here, you know, it's like, you know, it's not very high res, you know, you don't really gotta draw it in like a perfect signature. So what I'm just gonna do is just, you know what I mean. And that's probably how the signature looks like. I have no idea what it says. We're gonna work on this part next. So what I'm gonna do is kind of steal this leather design up here and just paste it over, you know, just so it looks like a full, like leather folds instead of the actual sleeve itself. So it doesn't look kind of stupid, you know. Right now it is looking a bit stupid. Please don't mind it, but yeah. Okay. Severe lapse of judgment. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Alright, it does not make sense drawing wise, but like I said, you do not have to care. So let's go to this next one. Yeah, also make sure to save your projects. Oh my god. Please save your projects. If you mess up, you are, oh yeah, you're done. Anyways, with this, we'll have to, hold on. The sleeve, I guess. That's all I really had to fill in, because the sleeve is already like, yeah. Alright, now, that's disgusting to look at, but we are virtually done with the fill-ins. I guess with this, I'm just going to, you know, what I like to do with filling or like shading things in is lowering down my opacity, and then grabbing this, making my brush kind of big, and just wait, not like that, not like that, not like that. I guess it kind of works. Yeah, well, I'll just leave it like that. Now here we have our base. Oh, I almost forgot. I almost forgot. This is confusing. So I'm gonna draw over this as well, because this is a little anyways. Now this is a perfect opportunity to explain how I will add fill in small things like this that are very obscure, that don't look very detailed. This might come up while you're clone stamping, and I've been there many times. So first we see that there's this pattern right here, white, black, white, black, white, black. This might not be, you know, occurrent in every one of the things, but if your person does have stripes somewhere and you want to fill something in, like I said, hold Alt and press at the point where you want to copy from. Oh, right, I forgot. I'm on opacity. Remember, keep coming back down. And just like that, we have filled in this spot. If you notice, this is a finger, here's a finger, and here's a finger. We need to get rid of all these fingers right here. This looks like it's a part of this hand, but it's not, so we're gonna get rid of this hand as well. So what I'm going to do is, because I know this finger is not part of this hand, I'm just gonna draw it in, you know. looks a bit goofy, but we just have to shadows, man, shadows. Hold on. I'm gonna make my brush a little smaller because this is very small details. The hands don't really matter, honestly, but you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. So, what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and just get rid of the rest, you know? Boom, boom. His hand is obviously not this light. I'm a little doofus. But yeah, so I'm just filling his palm right now. And very discreetly I can see his watch. So like I said, I'm just gonna fill that in. It doesn't have to be the most detailed thing in the world. Please don't think that needs to be the case. It really does not need to be the most detailed thing ever. It can be the most obscure looking weird detail ever, and it'll work anyway. So please don't worry about it. It's alright. That is how I always do my things. Here we have a little weird looking thumb, so we're just gonna erase that, you know, get rid of it forever. And just like that, we are done with weird looking hand. So, like I said, doesn't need to look beautiful, but there we have it. We have things that can be differentiated, and that's what we want. That is exactly what we want. So here we are done with the clone stamping. Doesn't have to do. I don't have to do any more tweaks to this, and we can get started. So we don't need to do any. We don't need to. So, all right. So once you're at this part, you want to go to File. It won't show up on my screen because I'm using Game Record, but you want to press File, find Import, and Other File. Press File again. And then press your PSD file. Remember to download it as a PSD. And then when it says import kind, composition, retain layer sizes, keep it at editable layer styles. And then double click the composition. So now you have your person right here. And what we want to do is make it, you know, turn into a V. You want to make his arms spread out so the model doesn't mess up. I'm going to press right here, go to Puppet Tool, find where his arm starts, so like right about here. Yeah, there you go. And just, basically these pins are just where you don't want things to move, or like what you don't want to move. These are just so nothing weird moves around here. Now for the other pins, these right here, these are more advisable because, I mean, for the other pins, you want to use them as sort of joints, or as like a basis of movement. So I want to move this, and this. So let's see how that works. So I might remove this one right here. Yeah, I'm gonna remove this puppet pin over here because there we go. Now we're gonna have the elbow, the hand. Something weird going on with the wrist, so. And just like that, we have the V shape for the one arm. Now we're gonna do it for the next arm. So what I'm gonna do is flip horizontal key, press P, and just move that. It's beautiful, ain't it? Ah, yes, it's very scuffed, but it'll work. There we have it. It looks a little goofy, but you know, we can handle that. Nothing like having a goofy model. Just like that, we are done with this step of the process. Oh dear. But yeah, we are done with this step of the process. Even though it looks very goofy, you will see how the model turns out and we'll modify it to our liking. Now save this by going to Composition, Save Frame As, File, and you'll see it'll appear on your render queue. Go to press this Photoshop thing and it'll open another tab. It's probably not going to show up for you guys in the recording, but you want to look at the very top setting that says Format and change that to JPEG. Now you might have thought I was going to change it to PNG, But for some reason, I get this sort of glitch whenever I put in PNGs into the program that I use. It'll create like some weird like third arm or like some weird rehashing, and I'm not sure why it does that. But what I'm going to do is make it ready to render and then add a background. So first I'm just going to output to my downloads, and so what I'm going to do to add the shape that I want, or like the background that I want, is you can just right click right and an empty space down here, new, and shape layer, and I'm just going to stretch this out. Doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's like a very vibrant color that does not match the color behind it all. So just like that, you want to go to your render queue and then render that out. Boom, you are done with this phase. Now, I'm a bit of a dummy, so I misrecorded a part where I already put this in, but how to get it started is you go to image to 3D and put in the image that you just exported from After Effects. Just let that go, let that start loading. And it'll show you the initial views of your model, and as you can see, this is the preview model only. Once you have this and you're satisfied with what it might look like, you're going to press appear. But if you notice, there are some pink in my model, so if you were taking this really serious and you didn't want any pink in your model, you can fill this spot in Photoshop or After Effects to just draw these spots in with the pink on them. Now, what I'm going to do is, since I don't really care, this is kind of just a tutorial, it doesn't need to be all crazy, I'm going to make the preview model. So that should take a few minutes. I'll catch up right back with y'all once that's done. Ouch. Anyways. So now for this part right here, it's been a few minutes, and if you notice right here, upgrade the pay plan, you can ignore this. You can pay if you want to skip the few hour, like the hour-long wait, but I'm broke, so I just go through it. That's why I want subscribers. But yeah, as I was saying, once you have this step complete, you're gonna have your preview model. It looks really ugly, but like I said, we'll deal with that. The refine will fix that. It'll look a lot better, like one of these models right here. So we're gonna press refine, and I'll be back with you in a couple hours once this is done. And like I said, you'll have to be patient for this model if you want to make multiple models. It might take you like a day of prep. So I'll get back with you soon. I'm probably just gonna take a nap. I'm sleepy as hell. Bye. Alright, so it's been a few hours. It's been I think 2 hours, and our model seems to be finished. Now, the only issue that I probably have with it is this part right here. But like I said, this is not a serious tutorial. But with the right effort, with the right colors, it would look pretty amazing. But the outfit itself looks amazing. It did the outfit extremely well. And so we're gonna move with this. And the way I export this is by going up here, pressing export. Now we're gonna do the refine mesh. I'm gonna export it as an FPX. FPX brings the textures with you, and it's very, 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 very convenient. I'd also say to download the user image, or not this image. Whoops, my bad. But there's your 3D model as like a video. Looks pretty cool. So yeah. Now we're gonna take this into Blender. Oh no, not Blender. We gotta use the last resource at the moment. So let's go ahead and take it. Hello. So here we are in Accurig. Accurig is a free software you can use to rig your model. And if you don't know what rigging is, it is making the bones so you can move around your model all by itself in Blender. So what we're gonna do is enter in our FBX file. You won't be able to see my file explorer like I said, but all you have to do is just put your mesh in there. And it should import your model. It should take a bit, maybe like a few seconds. Yeah. So here we have my model. And it doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical. All that really matters is just the next part, which should be coming up right now, right here. So you want to look at the diagram over there to see where you want to put your points. So this one looks pretty accurate. This one should be a little closer up to the neck. This one should be like right next to the neck on the shoulder. I think that's right. It's about there. This one is on the shoulder itself, the shoulder joint. So I'm gonna move it pretty up here, like higher than the usual like shoulder would be, because sometimes the modeling can, or like the rigging itself can be all weird. So put everything where it needs to be. Boom, at the wrist, so a little higher up than that. About there. Pelvis, he's wearing like his pelvis is like up here because his pants are like low. Just keep that in mind. Knees are in a good place. Knees are always in a good place. So now the next part is rigging a hand. Now I don't like to rig the hands on these low poly models, but so I'm gonna put 0 and skip that step. So now it's going to calculate the skin weights and make your own skin weights pretty much. Anyway, as you can see, there is this glitch right here, but honestly, it will be overlooked in any edit you make unless you're doing like a really close up. But this type of placeholder is to create low poly edits, so these type of mistakes are going to be made, and it looks pretty cool. Intentionally, we're gonna press export down here and export FBX, and then we're gonna go Blender because that's what we're gonna use, and make sure to press embed texture. That's pretty important. Export, and I will just rename that Ken Model 4. But now here's the thing about these models. They tend to be broken in Blender. The bones themselves tend to be pretty broken, pretty disconnected. So this next part will be focused on showing you which exact bones to fix and how to fix them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and fix these bones. Alright, so now we're in Blender, and like I said, delete the cube by pressing X and delete. Now we're going to input our model, go up here to File, Import, and FBX. Now you probably won't be able to see it, but I will show like a little graphic for it if not. Now I'm going to search up Ken Model, search up the name, and Ken Model 4. So here we have him. If you can't see his colors, press this right here. Now we're going to scale him up a bit, and here we have him. We have him here. Now what the issues with him are going to be in the rig itself. So you want to deselect that and press the armature. Now you're going to see these options come up, and press this one, go to viewport display, and in front. Just like that, you can see the bones from the inside, so you don't have to deal with the hassle of going to wireframe mode. Now, what you want to do is from here, with the bone selected, you go to here, ignore edit mode, and go to pose mode. Now here's where we're going to test out how these bones are looking. So we're going to test it out with this one first. Press R and just move your mouse around. If the entire arm moves, then your rig is correct, or this bone is correct. It's correctly placed. Try this one. Oh no, that's broken. But you can see there's another one inside, so press again. Oh, you okay, Christopher? Anyway, as I was saying. Christopher. Anyway, as I was saying. The bone inside, yep, it works. But make sure not to delete the one outside, or else it'll make a massive deformity. Christopher, can you turn that down?
No.
So as I was saying, this bone is broken. This next one right here is not listening at all. So what we're going to do is check this bone. That one's broken too, so we're going to check the one inside that. And this one actually works. So we're going to, this is the one we want. We want the one inside by double clicking to pay attention to this one, but it's not so far. So we're going to copy and paste. So go to the name, Control C, go to the right bone, not the one that's broken, but the correct one.
No.
The one that's inside. Go here, press Tab, press right here, and Control V, and press the top result. Just like that, it'll listen to you.
So now let's check this one by pressing R. As you can see, it's broken again. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna copy paste the one of the broken one, and then go to the fixed one, press Tab, and then copy paste the broken one. And just like that, that should be fixed. Same thing applies to the next side. This one's going to be fixed. Remember, press R to see. This one's going to be broken, but the one inside is going to be fixed. Here's the bar. Anyways, the third one's always going to be broken. So what we're going to do for that is make it listen, is make this one listen to this one. So remember, copy the name of the broken one. Press the fixed one. Make sure there's one inside, because this is the fixed one. Go to Tab, and then copy paste the name of the broken one here by pressing Ctrl V. Just like that, it'll listen to it. Once again, there's going to be a case of a broken bone here. So we're going to want to copy the name of the broken bone, go to the fixed one, make sure there's none inside, edit mode, and copy that. Enter. You don't have to press enter. Just like that, your arms are all going to be fixed. Down here, you're going to have two separate rigs right here. You don't really need to separate these. These can just work all standalone. And if you pay attention to right here, you can move the neck like that. Now,
no,
Christopher.
What?
Nothing, Christopher. So, now let's look at the legs. The legs are broken, as we know. The legs can be broken. So we're just going to do the same thing we did for the arms, but for the legs. So let's first run a test on this leg. We see there's two bones, so we're going to test this one. It's broken. The one inside, it's fixed. So we don't touch that at all. We don't even delete this one. Second one, broken. Is there one inside? There's not one inside. So what we do, test this one out. Is it broken? Yeah, it's broken. You can't really tell, but it's not moving the foot. But then the one inside does move the foot. And this one right here, the third one, does not move. If it doesn't move at all, just put it back into position and don't touch it. I want to touch the one that moves everything. No, it's not that one.
Look, he's scared with you.
There we go. So this is the one that's fixed. And we want to copy the name of the broken one. Remember? So we're going to press Ctrl-C.
Look at that in a rainbow fence like this.
Yes, it is quite scary, Christopher. Anyway, this is scary. So, Ctrl-C, the broken bone. Now look for the fixed bone here by triple clicking, and you'll have the right one. And then press Edit or Tab, and control that. And just like that, it'll all move with this one. So let's check this one up here. This one's also going to be broken, and of course, it's going to be broken. Is there one inside? There's not one inside. There we go. All right, so. Seeing this one was the right one. I was just mishearing. But remember, this one's the broken one. So we copy the copy the name of the broken one. Go to the fixed one, edit mode, copy paste. And just like that, it'll move. Now repeat that step for this leg as well. So let me explain this to you as well. One more time. To check the bones, you press R and just move your mouse around. This one's broken, so we're going to look for the bone that works in this leg, which is triple clicking. So copy the name of the broken one, go to the fixed bone, and go to Tab, Control V. Now that's fixed. We have this one, which is broken, so we want this one to listen. We want this to listen to this. So copy the paste the broken one. Go to the fixed one. Edit mode. Control V. And just like that, you are done rigging your model. It is all done and ready for use. Christopher. Now then, I'm going to show you how to make a background for your 3D character if you want to set them up in like a little photo render. The way I do it is by searching up just a random forest. Creepy forest background, and go to images. What I do here is go to tools and make sure my pictures are large. So I'm gonna try this picture right here. I know it has a little watermark on it. Christopher. Christopher. I know it has the watermark on it, but that's fine. I don't really need to care about anything right now. So I'm gonna right click it and save image. And I'm just gonna call it Dark Forest. Now what I'm going to do is go to this website right here, convert.leiapix.com. It's gonna be in the link in the description below. You're gonna press upload and upload your picture. You're going to see that this happens right here. And Christopher. Now you can test out how it looks with the mountain motion. You can see how much it moves around like that. You can see all the warping that happens, and that's fine. So what I'm going to do is go to depth map, and now you can see we have this picture. You're going to want to right click it and press save image as. Now you're going to name it whatever you called your picture, and then depth right after that. Boom. So now you have your depth photo. Go back to Blender. Now back in Blender, what I'm going to do is real quick make Shift A. My bad. What the hell? Oh right, I'm in pose mode. Make sure to get out of pose mode first, and then Shift A. Plane. Press S and just slide your mouse so it's pretty big. And what I'm going to do now is go to my modifier, add modifier, displace. I'm going to press new texture, go down to my texture, and then there's open right here. Press that and your File Explorer will open. So go to where you stored the picture of your depth map. Make sure it's not the actual photo of the forest, but rather your actual depth map. As you can see like this. This one is a little warped, so I want it to like extend to go a little bit like this. So it's actually at the normal res. So I'm going to press mapping, slide this up a bit so I can actually see. Crop, maximum YX. Just shift that like that. Now then, what to do? I'm going to go ahead and press tab for edit mode. Right click, subdivide. You want to subdivide until you have like something that looks a bit like this, or maybe even more like that. And then right click, shade smooth. So now we have this, right? Random render issue right here, but if we can squash that, go back to mapping, squash that out. Yeah, so now then, I'm going to go to my shading editor. So press this, new. Now we're gonna go over here. Now, from your open like your file app, and just slide the picture of your actual forest in there. So for me, all I do is just slide it in like that, and we have it here. I'm gonna plug the color into the color, and then after that, I'm gonna turn the roughness down and the specular. So that's how we get the actual color in there. Now what I'm going to do is rotate it so it's actually behind my character. So, and he's actually standing on that ground right there. So RX. Now you can do a shortcut RX90, but you know, I'm just yeah. So what I want to do is kind of extend the strength so it's like there's more ground for him to stand on. So I'm gonna go to here on my texture. Oh no, wrong thing. My modifier and press and up increase the strength. So as you can see, there's more ground for him to stand on now. Seems like some random issue going on with the mapping. Let me fix that. That's better. There we go. So that looks more accurate. It's some weird lighting thing, but that can be sorted out. But for right now, I don't feel like sorting it out. I apologize, but that's just a pain in the butt. Sometimes that happens with depth maps. Let's see if we can fix it. Not doing anything about it. Yeah, as you can see, it just does not want to go away. But that's just life, man. People won't see it, honestly. Now that I look at it, people are not going to care. So, boop. What I'm doing right now is RX. So it flips up like this. Now I'm going to go to my camera. Go press N. go to view, camera to view. So what I'm gonna do is hold my middle cursor, the scroller thingy, and just move that and avoid those spots right there. Now that's a nice shot. Here we have him.
Hey, Julian.
Yeah.
Mommy, do you want to get marbles?
I'm not losing my marbles, you hear me? Anyways, as I was saying, now I'm gonna deactivate it so I don't accidentally mess up the camera.
Is it Julian quiet?
That's cute. Now then, we're gonna pose my boy.
What
So
you say?
I said I'm gonna pose my boy.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna press this.
You don't want to go.
Yes, he does.
Oh, he will. Oh.
Anyways, you will see the keyframe down here. Instead of keeping these keyframes down here, what I like to do is change this to my dope sheet and change this to action editor. And now I feel like I have more control that way. Remember that I change this to XYZ. Anyway, remember that I is your keyframe maker. So press I when you're like on these values, and just like that, you set the keyframe for the rotation. Now what I'm gonna do is, it's not an animation, so I don't need to worry about any graphs. So I'm just gonna move this down. Move his arm down a little bit. Now I'm gonna now remember always to press I. Every movement you make, always press I when it turns orange here. Always, 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 always. Now, is this the broken one or the correct one? It's the correct one. So move it down by the X. Looks like it's bending forward a bit, which is fine. And just like that, we have his arm already looking normal. Always press I. Always press I there. And then here we have his arm going this way. So I'm gonna move it down just a bit. Change this. Always change that. I don't know why it's always like that, but I'm gonna move it down by the Y. No, not the Y. The X or the Z actually. A little bit, and then move the correct one down by that as well. I'm not sure why it's like that, but it's fine. So what I'm gonna do is just have his pose to be kind of, simple. Just gonna find the correct one here. Really, you just play around with the values till something happens, Just how it would be. Always press I every movement you make. And I guess that's our simple pose for now. Now then, render view, where I'm going to get my light. And just G. Whoops. I'm still in pose mode. Make sure to always get out of pose mode when you're done with pose mode. G, X. Then go to my render view. G, Z. G, Y. Now what I'm going to do is go here, turn bloom on, ambient occlusion, and let's see. I'm going to turn on some, go to my camera, going to here, depth of field. Going to make sure it focuses on my boy. Mesh.
No.
What's wrong, Christopher?
Yeah. Good.
What's wrong? So turn the F step down for a good, cool looking boy. And just like that, you have your low poly 3D model as well as your low poly, Whoa.
No.
This is all automated by AI. I did none of this by hand. But figuring out your own way is crucial. So,